Oh, I know, we didn't talk about his name change. He, that was in the Army, when there were several of them there, and they couldn't pronounce their names, so he said, change your name. So a bunch of them went out one night with a telephone book and got drunk or something. Each chose themselves a name that was easier to pronounce. I don't know why he didn't just make it Pepper, but he didn't. So that's how that happened. It was funny because he grew a mustache, and she thought from the picture, oh, I should get that picture. Yes, it's our wedding picture. She thought from the picture that I was older than he was, and that's why he grew the mustache. Yeah, it was fine. I mean, again, his father didn't speak any English, but his mother did. Of course, she learned it in Palestine, which was British when they were there. But no, that was very nice. She was a good cook. Huh? But he was his father was very quiet. Come home, he'd eat his dinner, sit down to listen to the news, and he'd fall asleep. Just work. So we went back, we went quite often. Then he joined the group in the Bay Area, and we used to go to the meetings. Oh, that was another thing, that Julia, one time they asked the next level of children to come to the kindertransport, who were then in their teens, 20s. And they asked them to say something. And Julia was saying to me the other day when I was talking to her, she said, I was so embarrassed because I didn't know anything. He had never talked to us. So that was, it was after. Yeah, so anyway, she said, I was so embarrassed, I didn't know what to say. And so she said that her father had never talked about it, and she didn't know very much, and felt embarrassed about saying that too. But he sort of was unhappy that he couldn't make friends. But he was only comfortable around people who had had a similar background experience. So he had a friend he met a man who lives in Upper New York State at the 60th reunion in London, who had been in the Army, and they didn't pay much attention to those people. They didn't do anything. I mean, they weren't even listed in the program. But anyway, Alan made good friends with Ernie Goldberg, and then there was Herbert in Vienna, Harry in London, and then there was another man in Palo Alto that we got to know very well, Rudy Bach. He wasn't a kindertransport. He was one who went to Shanghai and got his doctoral degree there. He was an eye doctor, ophthalmologist he was, and he used to go to Nepal and operate on cataracts all the time. So there was then Rudy in Palo Alto, and then another man he met through Herbert, who lives in Los Angeles, who calls me about once a month, and we talk. Yeah, he used to call Alan. So it was all by phone, and he would talk for ages, particularly with Harry, and then they would exchange. We had a fax for a while, and so that they faxed cuttings out of newspapers and pertinent information.